One of the most craziest moments is that if you ever wanted to learn something from a song that has rhythm and blues in it, it's also got an alien in it called Under the Influence by Chris Brown. It was released in 2019. It's one of the most outrageous albums I've ever attempted. This normal album has the UFO that's balancing in a small beam that's looking like a high wire out of a circuit, and I have it propped up a little bit with the laptop, foot down, and the UFO is slightly angled to his head in order to prop it up just a little bit so maybe you can see his face. I don't know what it looks like. You might be just looking at the bottom of his eyes. That looks like his secretary. But we're going to run it anyway. So as you can see, he's still on his exploitation away from home. I am in my parents' room. Don't be alarmed. I'm not wearing a white shirt. It's a blue shirt, if I'm being honest. It's very cold. But this alien, he threw in one of the only long sleeve shirts that I've ever available, so that whole explanation to get there to his laptop, computer, in order to talk about something is because it's about a huge UFO that's taking all the aliens everywhere. I'm sure this is something that a lot of you were moderately familiar with. But I'll just go ahead and give you the really brief nutshell rundown of what's going on. So the alien didn't really fly all the way back there because he didn't make that angle right there on purpose. And just so you know, in the whole video, he needs to mention that the camera just fell on its own, and he purposely stopped his recording so we may have the area exercise whatever you're doing just now. Perhaps his cringe was too unbearable here, but anyway, back on topic. He is making so many albums that he's especially reacting to his own albums, and he reacts, which has made her a punching bag of the internet. Recently, he has caught more albums of the internet because it's to the Hunger Games, because a lot of people have been stealing them. Apparently, he even posted lots of pictures, which obviously I'm not going to show you. I'm not here on a 4K display of Jack's Films Dojo here because Chris Brown posted on his own story because he is so generous with this whole situation. I don't think you can just end this up. And if it's not illegal, it's against his album. Rules at the least violates the Geneva Convention of Internet, because it's where you never take internet beef into the real world, and the alien is just somewhere around space. It's where you never take internet beef into the real world. It's just going too far with this whole thing, as well as making fun of it, which is I was inside. Why'd you delete it? That's kind of a checkmate moment right there, when that alien was on that UFO and somebody was taking him everywhere. When I was inside, that's a kind of a checkmate moment right there. If it showed up to his house unannounced in the middle of the night, I saw him unannounced in the middle of the night, then people started to the point of how that's not his behavior. And it's much with the slice of exciting that's not bad. I don't really think how you should Phoenix read an argument together that is not exhausting. Indiana Go Extended, which is an argument together that is not doxing. I don't even understand Steve. And she makes about saying that Jack's Film posted Google, and it's Indiana Go Extended, which is the name of this album right here, which is Chris Brown's Under the Influence. I don't even understand. And she makes even about Chris Brown's Google image. She's talking about this album all the time, especially since he first created it. I don't think he made a sponsored post purchases of his address. The most first thing that comes up when you type in this familiar album, it will definitely would have to come out of your way to find that information. I don't think he has the spot he made up, like Pokemon, stuff like was advertising where he lives like. This is not common information. You were out of your way to find it and then went to his address. Just really can't think of any justification for it. I've seen a lot of Chris Brown albums, especially this Under the Influence album. I've seen a couple of people huffing massive amounts of coke. I'm nearly toxic by saying, like, computer, illusional. If you ask me how normal people created this album, are going to hash out their internet beef into the middle of the night in person, right going to the middle of his house, and he's about to sell his solar panels to him or something to ambush him with this conversation about the few of his not normal, unacceptable problems with a normal internet. Now, this is something downright against the rules to do something like this. So I definitely think that Chris Brown would just film his album right there. He's very upset about it. Probably a little concerned about it because because who knows what's gonna be there, and probably a little concerned about this album because you know who else might go to his next, and he posted on a massive Instagram account that is illegal to a legitimate fear to post it on this account in this response to the whole situation, saying this creep has been harassing me for months. Then victim plays victim, saying that I threatened him when I just wanted to talk to him and pay the bills. So especially when he created this album, I have to say it's a really nice album, to be honest. He can't purposely say anything about his album. It's so generate. He can be so concerned about like a normal internet, but it's something like downright. He's going downhill against the rules. He's so upset about it. He even posted this Indigo extended album that is something like a massive account that is legitimate fear to post this account for this album because it's pretty much old and you never know that it's new. But it's always something about his conversation, especially Chris Brown has been creating all of his albums. He's a little concerned about his. He has caught more albums, especially more than this one. He has caught more albums, more than 3,000 albums with another new album from him. Especially this alien came in the middle of the night with his conversation. He was gonna hash Brown. He was gonna hash those UFOs and land something against from that sky. It's like unacceptable problems. It is something that extends beyond like some normal internet. But I don't think that he should create any more albums, especially like this. I know that he has such a great album. He has created more than enough albums that I've ever seen before. To be honest, he is legitimate, and into the whole situation, saying that this album has been harassing me for months. It never harasses me, but this album reminds me of going to space. It's never going to harass people. Then it victims other people saying, "Oh, I threatened him. Let's talk about other people." And then they say, "Oh, I threatened other people," and I wanted to talk about him and pay the bills. So if you ever want to get a Chris Brown album for free, check on Google, and I'm sure this album might be for free. Thank you guys so much. Bye.